We had a great turnout on Saturday, so I think we've got a lot of footage to go over. I cut out like the last 20 minutes because people just kept rolling, and I'm not going to be on here all night. So, which actually, Cole, I think that was you and Joe. I feel like you guys had like a 18-minute round at the end of the class. So we're not going over that, but we got plenty to go over before that. Got Chris and I starting things off. Mitchell watching intently. What up, Joe? Oh, are we back to the screen flicker? Hopefully that goes away. All right, so what's up, Blake? What's up, Coop? Charge it to the game. That's right. God, I wish I could read lips right now. I don't remember what you said to me, Cole, but I'm sure it wasn't nice. So, simple Uchimata attempt that I would barely even call that an attempt from me, but notice my leg goes through the middle, so you'd call that Uchimata. I say, nah, that's not working. He's too balanced, so I go outside the leg. That would be Haragoshi, but again, he's really balanced. So I do a quick turn around the top, try to come to a front headlock, and he hits me with a fantastic counter body fold. So he was ready for that turn, and then stayed low, gets his hands together right behind my lower back, and then powers through on the body fold. The only thing that can make this a little bit more powerful is if his head was in front of my chest instead of in the position it is now, with like my arm over it. But either way, I mean, look where he has my head all the way behind my feet. I'm not going to recover from this. So he gets a good takedown here. Sub 200 people move over. Yeah, that sounds about right. Oh, what's up, Luke? How you doing, bud? What's up, Andrew? Let's see. How did Cole get Mitchell to the ground? Did Mitchell sit? Oh, no. Cole did. Just pulls him down. Quick little sweep. Yeah. Luke's in the chat. Everybody keep it together. Peters, where you at? There you are. What's up, dude? Say something.
What's up, man?
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah. What's up, everybody?
So we got
Sorry
you.
I'm late.
It's all good. We got you and Jordan just in time.
Oh, jeez.
See how you handle that, big boy. Looks like you're going for some leg entrances here right off the bat.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how he handles leg locks. I was trying not to attack the leg. I was going to attempt to use it for a sweep. I can't remember if that was successful or not.
Attack Jordan's legs.
Yeah.
I honestly, and I know Jordan at least catches the replays. I mean, hell, I go for leg locks on him. If I'm not doing that, I'm just working to stay balanced and try to prevent the sweep. But I think he knows anybody as small as me is going to go for leg locks. So he's right. And then he goes for him on me too. He had that like beautiful inversion maybe a month or two ago on the stream where he totally caught me off guard, went right into cross Ashi. And I'm like, oh, all right.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he wants to do him. We also saw Cole get Mitchell with the smother a few seconds ago. And Chris had been, yeah, there's a smother from Cole. And I think Chris got the better part of a lot of this round on me.
He's doing really good defending his legs. I mean, he's been doing really well at it. Chris.
Oh yeah, definitely. There, I'm trying to sit up for cross Ashi, but he's controlling my legs well enough to just completely shut it down.
Yep.
Ooh, we got Coop and Brandon up joining the fray here.
Oh yeah. I think I got to train. Yeah, I got to train with Brandon. That was the first time I've trained with Brandon, ever. I think.
Oh, really? Yeah, I was surprised he stayed as long as he did. And he ran up to me after one of my matches and was like, "Can we train?" I'm like, hell yeah,
Yeah.
we could train. All right, Cole.
That whole exchange with me and Jordan was like ridiculous. He like almost did the reach around guard, octopus guard on me, snatched my. Oh no, I'm sorry. He went in deep half here and just tossed me over his over himself, and then like I wound up like turning around to try and turn the corner on him, and then he like laid on top of my leg, and it was really in a tough position. I was very confused while it was going down.
Yeah, I don't think it's Big Jordan's birthday today, Josh, but thank you. No, Cole, you've already asked me that once today, so I'll let others field that question. See, so much to look at here. We got Ben and Joe going as well. Ben in on a single leg. I go to the old pull Chris's shorts down offense. We don't need to go back and watch that. But I get to sweep with a little 100%er grip.
You go back to you stepping into Chris's guard.
He's stepping into Chris's guard. I mean...
Probably back further here.
Okay.
And then, yeah.
Sure, so... Now this is... Okay, I thought you were looking for something comparable to like when you ran into my closed guard and we had to make fun of you for it. Yeah, so I hit a step around here like way up over the head, which I honestly don't like to do too much. I feel like I'm a little vulnerable. Like my base is very wide right now. So if the only times you'll see me doing this is like if someone is dead set on like getting all the way underneath me. Like Chris is very crunched up right now, head down to his knees, so I feel confident that I can make the step around without sacrificing my base. But they're just a little like tuck of the head. And then
You actually have a really nice toe hold here. Like, you could go for a toe hold pretty easily on the left leg. I didn't really notice it until now.
Yeah. And then now it's a matter of just trying to control everything. I didn't keep his butt to the mat, and I didn't care to fight too hard. But that was the idea. It's a viable move. Like, I think you guys are used to seeing this step around from over the hip.
Across the hips.
Yeah, rather than over the head. One benefit of going across the hip is you don't have your opponent's, in this case, their left arm blocking you. I still have to beat that arm. There, Chris extracts it for me, so it's a little bit easier. But I'm not on a great angle, so he manages to sit up. Any other questions, Joshua? Mitch with the stiff arm. Look at that. Look at that.
A stiff leg almost. I thought he was going to put his foot. Yeah, he does. Foot right in the face.
Ooh.
Very nice.
Gets Cole off balance there with a little hook sweep.
Yeah, see if he can come out the back.
Yeah. Mitchell, when you're here, you've got it. Yeah. Good counter by Cole.
On Cole. Yeah.
Now he's into a triangle threat. Lets that go. I couldn't armbar him. That's fun. I remember, Cole, I don't know if you remember this, but way back a long, long time ago, when you were still pretty new, I told you that I was like, we were rolling. I was probably a blue belt. And I'm like, I'm going to armbar your left arm. And you're like, yeah, okay, dude. And then I did. And it was awesome. And I don't think you ever let me do it again.
Not the left.
What was that?
Not the left arm.
Speaking of arm bars, sounds on brand. So this was a similar step over situation, but like I'm not on the legs now. I'm on the arm. Like this is probably. I mean, what was that?
You're like in dorsal, right?
Yeah, kinda. And I had
Yeah.
my legs stuck. But once my right leg got free, I just worked to a full arm bar. I'm emphasizing crossing my ankles behind the shoulder. So that way it's going to be difficult for Chris to turn away from me, to initiate like a rolling escape, like a hitchhiker. It also, like, in pulling him towards me and bringing his arms in, it's not that I'm restricting him from turning towards me, but it makes it difficult for him to turn towards me and extract his own elbow. Like, it's kind of wedged up against my body. With this, I have the freedom to kind of switch my hands and pick which hand I want to use to try to break the grip. So I believe I go to my head side arm through. So head side being my right side, the side closest to Chris's head. I switch there, and I do something that's pretty new to me. I overwrap the leg. When I do this, what it allows me to do is lean towards his hips. That makes this leg a little bit more mobile. And I could do that thing that we saw Gordon Ryan do against, was it Gaudio? Patrick Gaudio that he just recently hit the armbar on?
Yeah,
I think
the figure four.
Yeah.
I can't remember what he calls it.
So he pulls his shin up ahead of the grip, like between the grip and my chest. That's where I pull my leg, and I use my leg to try to strip the grip off. So my shin wedges against the grip, pushes against it, and I'm also extracting with my straightening of my back to get that grip free. So you can see my right leg is extending his arms out. I pop the grip, and then now it's control it, and a pretty easy finish.
It's interesting because you have you have no cross-face leg in that scenario, right?
Right.
But it's still a strong break.
Yeah, I relinquish the crossface because I'm confident enough in the connection I have on the far shoulder, and the control over the hip. So I've immobilized him enough that I feel like he can't turn away from me because of the crossed ankles behind the shoulder. And in order to sit up, a lot of times guys have to like pendulum their legs up and then back down. Well, he can't move his legs right now because I've got that overwrap on them. So I can take the cross-facing leg off and use it to break the grip. And as you guys know, anytime you can use your legs against somebody's arms, it's kind of an asymmetric battle in your favor. Coop looking for the hip bump on Brandon, but Brandon's shutting it down. Cooper, you have an opportunity there. Watch as Brandon puts his hand to the mat. That's your time to go up, take your left leg up over the shoulder and set up a triangle. A very fun entrance, I think, would work very well for you. Here I try that far side knee block into the Darce. So you'll see my right hand blocks. I pop Chris over, and I really tried my damnedest to set up a good deep Darce here, but Chris did really well to shut it down. He kept the space between his right shoulder and his ear pretty wide open. So I could tell it started to be more of a neck crank, and I don't want to be that partner. So work to something else.
Jordan exploded his way. I think I had him in knee on belly, or maybe even just inside control. Just threw me off of him like I was a small child.
Mm-hmm. And then takes you back.
One arm push.
Yeah, I mean, he got his hips over you, and then it was just like you couldn't make a good enough ground connection.
Nope.
All right, Cooper on the back. Great movement by Brandon to shut that down. Well, what? Or is that like a Danny well? Really, I'm still fighting on that Darce. Ooh, so Luke on... What's on an armbar here on David? Coming out of nowhere. Let's see if we can... So looking right here. So just about gets the belly down armbar. I think if Luke would have rolled more to the left and like got his hips over instead of extracting the leg out, like if you would have been able to keep rolling over. I don't know if David's stopping him though, if he has like his bottom leg under control or something. May have been able to turn that into an armbar, or he just didn't want to break David's arm. Andrew had a really good submission attempt on me. I think it may have been a Darce this round. I can't remember. But it was super dangerous. I did not take it seriously at the start, I think, and it caught up with me very quickly. What was that takedown, Joseph? Single leg? That's what I want to see from you, man. If those are what you're working on, like, that's a good finish. We got weighing him down with that collar tie, head inside, little snatch single here. You just kind of push into him and then take it. Like, that's perfect, man. And you land past his guard. That's excellent. Do more of that. Those are the kind of finishes that'll work best for jiu-jitsu. That was solid. Oh, what? Did I hide you? My bad. I didn't even realize. What the hell did I hit?
Maybe when you were deleting the comment.
Yeah, maybe. Depression rash guard phase. Why your depression rash? Why is it your is it just a cheap rash guard? Depression like economic depression, or depression like post surgery I can't lift right now depression? Hit a Sasai against Andrew here. I think you guys probably see me work this quite a bit, but I really like it when people are pressuring towards me. So you can see my right arm pulls, my left arm pushes. I'm kind of initiating a rotation and I'm blocking Andrew's foot from stepping. As we both fall, I try to get my hips up first. Take it. How much ice cream did you just eat, Josh? And what combination of flavors did you pick? Joe on really the making more. I guess it was a head scissor. He didn't. I thought it was closer. Oh no, okay, it is a head scissor because I couldn't tell if he had the arm in or not. But here you could clearly see Chris's arm sticking out. Let's go back to this. So after that takedown, working around the head, get up to the dorsal position. All right. Doing your best impression of Luke, going to the head scissor Kimura dilemma. You don't quite have the Kimura yet, but you dig it out here, it looks like. Good adjustment. Joe, you made a really solid adjustment here. Right here, as soon as you grip your hands together, you could see you start pulling at the elbow. But I think you realized pretty quickly that wasn't going to work, and you have to break the grip down at the hands. So you address that, switch to a figure four. That was really, really nice. And now Chris probably knew it was going to be a long road ahead to get out of both of those things. So really, really good dilemma. We've got Joe and Jordan front center. Jordan quickly making his way around the guard. The day Josh left, I wore that, and James said depression rash guard. Oh, Blake, you're going to start a war. I've never had a bad Wits experience. I have no idea what you're talking about. Wits is great. As far as custard goes in our area, I don't think you're going to get better than Wits.
I don't discriminate between custard and ice cream.
Well, that's because you're
I
a
eat
garbage
them
disposal.
equally.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't know. Custard is just creamier and denser and better in every way. Although I do like ice
Got
cream.
egg in it, man.
So,
I'm just
what's
saying.
the problem with egg, dude? What you got against eggs, bro? It's complete protein.
Is it?
Sure. I don't even know what that
Yeah.
means. I'm just saying it.
Does anyone?
Yeah, dude. Custard and ice cream are very different.
Yeah, custard has egg in it.
God,
Did I
how
say
do you
that
not
already?
know that, Joe? It's the best custard, but not better than ice cream. False. I don't know. Ice cream can be crappy, or it could be amazing. There's too broad of a quality spectrum for ice cream. Whereas Wits is just always good. I can trust the consistency of their quality. Why is Joe pausing here? Let's see. If they're talking through something. They both have protein. Yeah, that's fair. Joe's got the right idea. I don't know what Joe and Jordan are talking about. Where's other Jordan been?
Yeah.
Old Rusty Shackelford. Gonna have to shoot him a text after this. Cole trying to get the sweep on Bin. Jordan doing good to get the arm isolated, working for the arm triangle. Gets it. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, no, flavor of the day. That's a gimmick. That's how you get the stuff that you have too much of out the door. You just got to go with the tried and true flavor you like. Those Darce attempts. That's right. Thank you,
But
Andrew.
Jordan will be back soon. So I'm curious, Cole. Were you
better
trying your double overs position on Bin? Like I see you going like far head and arm almost, or like head and arm type grips. I don't see you really employing the double overs grip that you generally do. Didn't know if there was a different strategy or if you were trying something different.
While we await your answer, Colsif, so here, this is where Andrew sets up this great Darce attempt on me. I feel like I'm pretty safe. I love playing this position. This is a common strategy of mine from half guard, working up to the tight waist grip. Danny so far is usually the only one I'm threatened by regularly from this position with the Darce. Here I'm switching down to the thigh because I'm getting weary of Andrew's position, but he manages to get his leg safe, and then once he's there, he can work to an angle he needs that is not advantageous for me. So I lost that battle, and now he's fully in control here. I think right there, Andrew, if you would have made it up to mount with that move, I probably would have had to have tapped. I think it was that close to being all the way finished. But either way, like even the moments before that, I was like pressing on the. Let's see if we can find it. I was pressing on. Can't really see me doing it. Yeah, okay, there we go. I'm trying to put my hand to your elbow right here to try to pop your grip open, because that was kind of the only thing I could do at that point. So really solid approach. Good attempt.
So Cole, in this, so this kind of suggestions for both Ben and Cole. The way that Ben is sitting on, or like staying very, I'll say long, right? He's trying to extend and almost sprawl out on you as he's trying to pass. Number one, he doesn't have like a body lock on you. He's kind of hugging your hips, and his hands are on the mat, right? So anytime our partner's hands are on the mat and you're in a seated position, that leaves them very vulnerable to Kimuras. So you can see if you freeze right here, well, further back, right here, Ben's head is separate from his right arm, right? His head is on the right side of your body, so you could easily take your right arm or top and trap the his right arm, and go for Kimuras, right? So you can start threatening attacks because you're in a seated position. Ben, on your side, you should really be trying to get Cole flattened out on his back, when you're making, like, while making a close grip to start either body lock passing, or, you know, if you don't want to close your hands around his back or whatever, then, you know, employing some Toriando type passing here. I think that would do very well for you trying to get his legs past, and trying to walk around. But I think both of you guys have an opportunity. And Cole, I think you have a very good attacking opportunity from the way that he was attempting to pass.
How has the stream quality been, guys? Just looking at
Looks a little touchy on my side. It's been hit or miss.
Yeah. I don't know, I'm dropping more frames tonight for whatever stupid reason.
It's looking like you're going into the armbar again.
Okay, good.
On Andrew.
Yeah, right at the time. Yeah, so his grip was more straightened out, so I didn't have to do the same leg break attempt, leg grip break. Good. Thank you, guys. I might bug you again.
Yeah, this was the first time I got to train with Brandon. That was this day.
He brings it, man. He's been killing it lately.
Mm-hmm.
He's just working a lot of stuff that I had a sick takedown on Cooper that Cole kind of blocks. It was just kind of weird. I don't even know how it worked. I was just grabbing whatever I could and flinging him around. Yeah, Brandon comes with a lot of forward pressure when he
does.
When he rolls. I really dig it.
Cole and Jordan
gets the standard Cole sweep. We have here, who's Joe with? I think Joe and David. Yeah,
it looks like David. Yeah,
David breaking in that new rash guard, no longer rocking the t-shirts. I guess Santa paid him a visit.
Yeah, Brandon, he does bring on the pressure. I completely agree.
Claims you punched him. I mean, I would expect you to headbutt him instead of punching him, but I guess that's why he runs away from you. Yeah, Yeah, it's good, man. I like it. I like it when some of the guys that you don't always get to roll with, some of the younger kids, when they finally do come at you, and they're just relentless, and then actually throwing like stuff that you've gone over with them at you. It makes me very happy. Yeah, Luke had to air out that side of the room. Jordan had to run and get some fresh air.
Cooper, not a bad attempt at setting up the heel hook on Matt. We need to work on getting some more heel exposure, or working on getting heel exposure. But I mean, ultimately, the setup and getting into the position was really well done. Nice step around the guard there from Matt.
Brandon wants your back. Let's see if he can slip a leg in. So I feel like right now what he's doing, like grabbing your legs and stuff, you've left a pretty wide hole for him to sneak a foot in pretty easily. So what that tells me is he's kind of like trying to break open your turtle to throw a hook in without realizing that he doesn't have to, and he could throw a hook in. So
right,
there's a little bit of awareness that you gotta work on, just to make sure the best thing I could compare this to is when you're attacking the back, you're on somebody's back and you're trying to capture their hands, meanwhile the whole time their neck is open. It's like, just go for the neck. You don't need to do all the other stuff. So same thing there. You don't need to fight to open down or to break down and open the turtle guard if it's kind of already open. So keep your wits about you, Brandon, if you're looking for that.
He did a really good job of riding my legs as I tried to roll through the turtle. Like, he ended up in side control and then eventually took my back from side control. So it was still it was really good. I didn't expect him to be able to pummel that way, but he did. So that was really good. I complimented him on that.
Did any of you in the chat get to roll with Philip here? I don't know if yesterday was his first class with us, if it was a trial or what, or if he had rolled before. I didn't have a chance to talk to him. Looks like Jason's putting him through the paces though.
Yeah, he's Jason's friend from a little ways away.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yep. Nice, Cooper. That was really good.
What did you
Solid
do?
inside heel hook.
Oh, yeah.
Cross ashi. This is a good example of not really having. I know we call it like inside Senkaku and the triangle with the legs or whatever. You do not have to triangle your legs in cross ashi. What Cooper is doing is probably what I feel is one of the more effective ways to attack your partner's legs in cross ashi. He's using his right leg, which would like in a figure of 4, his right leg would be underneath his left leg in this configuration, in the triangle. But this is his reaping leg, and he's extending his reaping leg away, and he's hooking Matt's defensive leg, right? The secondary leg. And what that's doing is it's preventing Matt from being able to turn away from Cooper and hide his heel. And so the more he can use those long legs to draw the defensive leg in, the easier it is for him to offer heel exposure or gain heel exposure on Matt.
David laying on some heavy shoulder pressure here on Joe. Joe's keeping his knee up tight to try to prevent the progression to knee on belly or to mount. Oof. That's going to be a hard turn to make, Joe. I saw you setting up for it. Cooper gave me a really good club to the head earlier, so I just start smacking him at various times throughout our roll now.
That was a good regard from Joe as well. He tried, like, he opens up the guard or opens up the side control with a jailbreak, and then he winds up getting his left arm frame in, and then realizes that he can get his left leg in as soon as he gets his arm frame.
Very nice. I know it was an accident. That's why I didn't really actually smack you hard back. Just had to tap you repeatedly. Did I accidentally get hit in the face every single time? Not with you, Cooper. Just every time I train. Nobody ever hits anybody on purpose. Except Cole, when he headbutted me in the chest and then I punched him in the face. And time. Oh, damn, what did Brandon do right at the end there? Looks like he goes for a hip toss or something.
Oh, yeah. It was really good. Yep.
Nice. Hell yeah. I didn't hear no bell. All right, Cole and Joe.
Danny. I think Danny smashed the hell out of me this round.
One thing I hate about training with Danny is when he starts listening to coaches. And it's like all of a sudden I'm going against a black belt, Danny. Good frame, keeping Cole away. Got that underhook to work with.
Such a weird direction change from Cole that worked. It was overhook to pull, right? Pull down on the left, and then he switches to a high overhook, almost like going for that other arm in order to get Joe turned to his right. To Cole's right. There.
Yeah.
It was just enough. Like, this is what we talk about like with the Kazushi, right? Or the off balancing is, when Joe's getting pulled on his right arm going down towards the mat, he's going to be biased to his left. He's going to be trying to pull away from getting swept. And Cole just exploits that and takes him over to the left instead.
So since it's half guard, I'll point this out since we've talked a little bit about deep half stuff. Over here behind Mike's beautiful face, I'm going with Jordan. And I just want you guys to notice, I'm going to hide you for a second, Mike, just how much I am cross-facing Jordan and not letting him, trying to prevent him from even like looking at the leg he's posting on. Like, you can watch me really repeatedly try to like crank his face away so that he can't swim for deep half or do anything. Now, when I feel like I have things under control, I can, I try to shin pin there, tried to move to north-south. That wasn't working. Now I make my way to a dorsal position. But that cross-facing is such a powerful thing that you guys need to put to work when you feel somebody digging in on your leg. And then here, I get a little mean. I don't even bother getting hooks in. I've got look at the smile on my face. I've got Jordan's head turned pretty far with my forearm across his face, turning just enough until I hear a little pop in his neck, and he gives me a tap. But he was all smiles, and so was James watching. Cole's back with both arms. Yeah, Cole definitely has like Munchausen's. He's like, dude, I just had surgery. It's like, bro, that was like 18 months ago, man. Come on. roll light with me, and then he kills me. Did something happen with you guys? Did he get from mount? Okay. Looks like he gets a straight arm. Lot of misdirectional movement from Joe. Gets through it.
Early guard.
Cooper, that may have been the whole reason he even went to the hospital to begin with. Maybe Cole wants to date a nurse, so he tore his pec off his bone and tried to make it work. It's called game, Coop. You'll learn it when you get older, bro. I'm just kidding. I should probably edit that out. Why did you guys stop? What happened here? Joe get an owie? Joe got a belly down.
Belly down.
Alright, so Ben's slowly making his way through Chris's guard, which seems to be about the only way you get through Chris's guard a lot of times. There we go. So one thing, when it comes to like foot pummeling, like we see Ben trying to do here, I typically only do this, like I use the top of my foot when my ankle is still trapped. If my knee is still trapped, I'm not using this foot wedge approach. I'm not going to say it doesn't work. I'm sure some people probably do it very effectively. I like to try to get my knee free long before I'm using a foot wedge to free the rest of my leg.
You mean from a lockdown, right?
Yeah, not even necessarily from a lockdown, just from like let's say I'm in top half guard facing the legs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not in a lockdown. I'm positioning my shin to where it's vertical. I'm popping the legs off. My knee is free. Then I'll go and I'll worry about like using a foot wedge. From lockdown, yeah, that's a whole nother animal. For that, it's either what we talked about last stream, which and I think you were coaching Ben through this when he was rolling with me later this day, pulling the heel to the butt and then whipping it out to the side, or instead of a foot wedge, if I'm using my secondary leg, I'm going to be stepping on the inside of my opponent's foot here to try to like force the lockdown further down my leg and unlock it that way. Lockdown is a good position. It's a good leg grip, if you want to call it that, but it isn't impenetrable by any stretch. Right there, in fact, it looks like right there at the end. I don't know if Ben was doing this purposefully, but there he just kind of he steps his leg out. I don't know if Chris kind of lets go of pressure, but there he gets the leg out. And Ben it looked like he started to push on that, but didn't need to by the end of it.
We got put back into close guard.
Who was that?
Ben.
Oh, yeah.
He wanted getting put back into close guard.
Yep. As did Jordan, which I notice here I'm controlling Jordan's head. I was having James kind of talk him through this, so once he gets up, then he can really start to work the standing guard break. Notice though I counter with that the headstand sweep, not the waiter sweep, because that's not what it's called, even though I do hold the world in my hand like a waiter holding a tray, but it's the headstand sweep coming up to mount onto an armbar. which I don't think works at all. Jordan gets out of it.
The shoulder crunch, Chris is. Let's see what he can do, if he can do something from
Got
there.
flattened out.
Yeah.
I think his legs were a little too committed to the position there.
Can you go back? I'd like this. I want to see where his legs were. Got.
Like he's not doing anything to like kick the base out, you know?
Yeah. And I think I've talked about this on the stream before. I know I've definitely talked about it in class, but your partner's head position, the top player's head position, has a lot to do with how effective the shoulder crunch is going to be. If your partner's head is at or above your head, it's going to be very ineffective to get the shoulder crunch. If their head is below your head, then it becomes, there's a lot more pressure on the shoulder, basically. Yeah. So here you can see that they're pretty equal. And then when Ben goes down to the ground, I'm sure he probably posts up and gets his head a little north of Chris's head, and it takes off the pressure. Well, actually, he sidesteps and gets around the guard somehow. I don't know how he got around the guard, but big step, I guess.
Yeah, we're still dropping some frames. It's not that bad. Not enough to make me call the stream. Sorry, Cole said go back to something, so I'm gonna guess what he gets here. Oh, similar to what I got on Jordan. Little rear naked strangle with without the hooks in.
Oh yeah.
With his right arm, no less.
Yeah, my stream on Twitch is not refreshing at all. It's frozen.
We're dropping now. Okay. Let's see. Just gonna put something in the chat.
Oh, it's still good. Maybe it's shit. Maybe it's mine.
Yeah, maybe it's you, Mr. Fiber to the house.
Hey, no, it's good. It's going.
God, Fiber's so bad. Coax is where it's at. I'm just really, I don't know. I don't know what the word is.
Disappointed. That's my word.
That. I just feel vulnerable about the stream quality right now, okay? Coop ready to
Joe
teach
and
Joe
Cooper.
a lesson.
Brandon.
Slightly. Get good, bro. There's a moment here where Ben like kicks into high gear.
Yep.
That I really liked. He's been a very, very respectful, very chill opponent, which I always appreciate. And you guys, you've heard me say it to each and every one of you. You set the pace, I'll match it. I don't care to do 100% rolls every single round. But at one point here, you start to see Ben open up a little bit, get a little bit more mobile, a little bit more aggressive, and I was like, hell yeah, let's get this. It's just nice having somebody my height, like, who is also very strong and capable. Instead of these like 15-year-olds who are 6'4". Joe coming out the back here, almost. Me and Ben there. This is where Ben starts opening up. Starts to bring the wrestler out. Yeah, we're the exact same weight. Ben and I, exact same. We just.
I mean, surprisingly,
I'm just dense.
It's not that much of a delta.
Yeah, for real. He told me when he went on stage, he was 155. I was like, get the hell out, dude.
I mean, you have no water in your body.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you cut like that.
Yeah, we're both equally massive. I'm just dense. None of that's true. Ben's got like 20 pounds on me of pure fast twitch skeletal muscle. Let's see if we see an actual waiter sweep here from Joe. No, not quite. Good job collapsing the legs, Coop. Getting Joe's knees together, passing around the back. Very nice.
It was really good.
Remember, anytime you can get someone's knees pointed in the same direction, you can pass them, typically in the way opposite their knees are pointing.
It's a nice tripod sweep by Cole on Andrew about 2 seconds, 3 seconds ago. Hand on the ankle.
There we go, drop down. Okay. So using two ankle grips. Cole, I think we talked about this a couple months ago. I'm not upset about this at all. I think you could have gotten an earlier sweep with your leg. So you don't need to get a hand on this ankle. You already have one here. If this foot drops back behind that ankle, you could sweep him there too. It's one of my favorite ways to put big guys down. Like, dude, when I get that on Caleb and he just thumps the mat, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Joe going for that smother. Cooper saying no, sir. All right, there we go. We got two. I think we have two elbows up above the shoulder line. That's a good opportunity to switch into an S mount. Let's see if he does it. Getting there. Okay, opts for just the arm bar. Just left him a little too much space to sneak the arm out. But that was a good strategic attempt. Was it you, Baker, that I was talking with about like developing your mount game? You were saying that going to the back tends to just be the primary option you go for. If that's the case, whoever it was, what we just saw Cooper doing, where he was scooping both of those arms to where you get both elbows up over the shoulder line. That's a great strategy. It's not the easiest thing to get, but that's a great thing to do to work towards S mounts, which is just a whole nother, position you could work from mount. But then, on top of that, you have the smothering stuff that we see, the straight arm stuff that Cole loves to do, mounted triangles that we've been seeing from Luke and Josh, Cole, even Caleb, all things that you could add into your mount game to build it more, or to get to build more before you go to try to take the back. And many of those things often lead to back takes, so it can work out well for the goals you're already working. Explain X mount. I already did. I'm not saying it again. S mount. Okay. Fair question. Let's see if we can find. So S mount. The way S mount works is right now, you see how you are more or less perpendicular to Joe. Like the way your body's facing. So we're gonna idealize it. Joe is this way. We're gonna say you're looking this way. You could be turned more to your left, but you would be looking like across Joe. You would have your left leg, the one that we see, instead of your knee pointing up, you would slide your foot along the mat up towards Joe's head. So we would just see your knee, your foot would be going along the mat up towards Joe's head, and you would have your left foot connected to your right knee. So you're not sitting in a triangle, but your foot is just kind of touching your knee. That's S mount, okay? Both arms are in, so you're not in a triangle. and it leads to very, very vulnerable arm positions. You can hide defensive arms very easily and extract other arms. If people try to like dig their way out of it, they can often put themselves in triangles. It's a very powerful mount position to be in, and it's probably the highest version of a high mount you could get to. You're basically all the way up. Your hips are like on or above their shoulders, so you're as high up the body as you could be. But it's a fantastic position to attack from, and a very difficult one to get out of. You pretty much have to get your opponent off balance, and at any time they could just kind of like hold an arm and then base out if you are rolling them, and they could maintain their balance pretty well. Steven gets out of it on me all the time. The day I can get Steven in S mount is the day I'll feel like I understand S mount. Brandon coming at me with the Fury. Just about gets on my back. And Blake taking it to Joe. And it looks like you and Andrew.
Yep.
So Joe putting to use his knee shield. I hope, Blake, you could see just how effective and important it is from half guard. You did a good job to kind of crawl past that bottom leg, but you still couldn't make forward progress because of that knee shield. So just pointing that out so you can understand the importance of it and how effective it is. Sweep. And then Joe doing the same thing that we just saw Brandon do, pointing Blake's two knees in one direction and then passing in the opposite direction. I don't remember. I think, Blake, you and I rolled later, so maybe we hadn't gone over the elbow escape. But Joe just showed you the UPA, or trap, bridge, and roll, which is normally, I feel like that's the first one that people learn, where so you got Joe's arm trapped so he can't base out in this direction. Another thing to add, just because I can't see it, is your right foot should be blocking Cole's or Joe's left foot. Then you can roll over your shoulder, in this direction. I've gotten away from teaching that as the first mount escape. I feel like teaching the elbow escape to total newbies is almost broke my neck there. The elbow escape is, since I put so much importance on it, I feel like that's the first one I'm going to teach people from now on. So that was why I focused on that one with you, Blake.
I agree. That's my go-to.
I still use the UPA frequently. It's a great move, but I'd rather have people.
It's not my first. It's not my go-to first thing.
Yeah.
I'll use it to open up knees so I can start the elbow escape sometimes. But it's become less and less effective.
Yeah. Yeah, tired opponents or people who I catch them thinking, that's when it works for me. You got a good Kimura on Andrew here.
Yeah, he did not give this up willingly. He was coming at me. I know he just got off of a pretty stellar round with Cole, but he didn't let me know that he was tired at all. So it was I had to work for this.
Yeah, quick move, step over there. Right from here, it's pretty much over.
Yep. Yeah, I do the pull Kimura, so I'm going to focus on pinning the hand by the body and then I'm going to use my body weight to drive down towards the person's hips. So you'll see me, number one thing for me is my left arm, my left elbow is on the mat, and I'm pinning it down by the hip, and then I'm using my head and the entire weight of my body to drive down the hip. Down the body line of Andrew to pull his shoulder up and cause the braking pressure.
Oh, we got Chris catching Cole here in a really nice triangle.
Oh, that was nice. Going back to what you said earlier about having a hand planted on the mat for, I believe, Cooper, when you were talking about with rolling with Brandon, right? Yeah. That this exemplifies that as well, right? Being able to turn Cole down and get Cole's right hand planted on the mat, extract the left leg and throw it over top of the shoulder.
Yeah, right there. Little bicep frame, grabs the wrist. Now he knows he can get that knee out. Very nice.
Yeah, so Cooper, that's exactly what Matt was talking about earlier.
He's got to cut
it's
his
the same
angle.
Mechanics actually for flying, for what people call the flying triangle. It's the exact same thing. You normally do a flying triangle with a strong overhook, almost like you would, start an Uchimata, right? Or you can even do it off of a failed Uchimata, to where you get the person's far hand planted and then throw the leg over top of the shoulder and land into the triangle.
I haven't done that. That's a great idea. Because I like my Uchimatas and everybody's shutting them down. I'm just going to jump into triangles on you guys now.
Yeah, watch not Cooper. Yeah, Jeff Glover.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Got the geometry lesson. Nice. I like it.
And Blake a second ago just had a little chair sit back take to the finish, which I feel like she's really, really gravitated to. So love to see it. I didn't make that a really effective part of my game until probably deep into blue belt. So good that you're learning that now. Great standing guard break by Brandon. Okay, so.
Oh yeah.
This is a fun little grip I'm playing. Yeah, I will fully take credit for that one. Seeing Blake do that. So this is an interesting grip Bertram and I were talking about. So this wrist grip that I take on Joe here, I'm going to look to pull Joe's arm. I don't do it well, but I'm going to look to pull Joe's arm past me and get him off balance. Oh yeah, I didn't do it well at all. I got a little too eager on the switch here. Nope, we're not skipping it. So watch what I do with my arm. My right arm, I shoot it up to this really, really high hand position and then set up basically a rear naked choke grip from here. My intention, if I can, I'd love to get a standing guillotine with this. This is going to be what I'm looking for. Brandon, if you're still in the chat, I tried to hit this on you on Tuesday after Bertram and I were talking about it before class. Sorry for making you the guinea pig. But we were finding even if it doesn't work, it works well for a takedown if you manage to get the grip but not the angle for the guillotine. And then once you get the takedown, it lends itself well to almost an immediate north-south choke, which is what I try to go for here. My north-souths are not great. They never really have been. So ended up just using it as a takedown, but it's an interesting grip. And then just tried to put on a little balancing clinic here against Joe, staying right in the pocket. It wasn't a fail, okay, Cole? Or maybe it was, but I'm okay with that. Honestly, I think Mike, just talking about some of the passing stuff we've been going over lately, like as I was in this with Joe, I was just thinking about like I should work that stuff that Mike's doing right now, and I like couldn't stand, but I'm like, I really don't care because Joe can't put me down right now.
Right.
Like this is gonna look
right.
really fun on stream. But if you guys can get really comfortable in the pocket like that, it can do a lot for your passing game. I mean, I eventually get it. I'm not sure. I don't think I did anything too fancy. Just kind of a knee cut by. Right here, I'm basically passed already. But yeah, being able to maintain your balance when you're standing in the pocket, that's something everybody should work on. It's not always easy. I get put down there a lot.
Yeah, tell me about it. I'm working it on Coop over here in the corner as well.
Oh yeah. You go a little step around. Jason making his way around Chris's guard with kind of an Americana threat, but not a major one. So I knew Joe thought I was gonna try to knee bar him, so I let him think that and just used it to pass. We're laughing about it here, but I really genuinely didn't want to knee bar him. I like using this pass, and we saw this I think in class. Maybe it may have been that class. I know we went over a version of this on Tuesday as well, but using this to spin the leg to the knee bar or all the way around a cross ashi. You don't have to go all the way around though. As soon as those legs come open, watch, I can slip my left leg out and switch. Here I switch right into mount. I kind of skipped a step. Normally I'll sit into side control, but that time I slipped my leg and then made a quick turn to mount. So you don't always have to spin the leg if you don't have a good leg lock game or you just want to work something different. That's a great opportunity to try something else.
I was doing that passing today.
You were?
Yeah. I like that from getting like you can threaten the, whether it's cross ashi, whether it's the knee bar or whatever, but you can also flare that elbow out and just pry open the guard or pry open the legs just enough to get your leg out, and you can either step into mount like you did, or you can go back into a knee on belly position. There's a lot of opportunities there.
Yeah. Andrew turning the tables on Blake now. Getting her with the back take. I think with the chair sit.
Cooper was asking us last time to kind of go in on the anaconda strangle. And so he caught me in the front head, and that's where we're going through it right now. And he's doing a really good job.
I feel like
he's going to gravitate towards it.
Yeah, I mean, he's like... It's like Danny and everybody else with long limbs, like anacondas, darces, triangles, arm triangles. You guys should definitely make those a part of your game.
Yeah, you at least got to know about them too, right? Like,
yeah,
just so you can defend or attack when people leave themselves open.
So here I'm really keeping my hips super low to try to prevent the kip. Joe kind of starts burning his arms out because he isn't using his legs there, which we were talking about there. So he quickly makes a good adjustment and knocks me off mount, but I enter into the legs as a result. Yeah, bro, we get it. Okay, God, you're 6'6".
So what Jason's fighting against right now is the power of the knee elbow connection. So you'll notice that he has a very strong, or he's for the past minute or so, he's had a very strong underhook. You know, trying to go for a knee cut pass. Has even penetrated with the knee through the guard and just not able to pass. Chris is very, very good at preventing it, and the way that he does it is by literally just connecting his knee and, well, I'm sorry, his elbow and possibly just his hip, right? Like, he just does not allow that opening to occur, and it's just very tough to fight against it. So Jason is doing the right thing. He's trying to secure a grip on that lower hand, right on the near side hand, to try and open up the or wedge in between the elbow and the knee. And it's a tough play with Chris, but that's the strategy that you should be employing, right? Is separate the knee and the elbow to make it easier for you to get around the guard.
Yeah. Fun scramble at the end with Joe there. All right, Luke and Andrew. I guess Jason and Chris. Oh, okay, they're talking through something.
Yeah.
So something I had to learn the hard way, which is getting smashed by Luke for hours and hours and hours, is when he's pressuring forward with me, he's got me on my side, on my back. I used to think about, like, how can I turn this into a guillotine, or how can I control his head? And I would take a grip over top of his neck like this, like a collar tie. At least for me, it never amounted to anything. And I realized, I was like, I need to frame his shoulders. Like, what am I doing? I need to create space and either get up and get away, get back to standing, or, create space, dive in on deep half or something. Andrew, I would advise to keep your hands in front of Luke when you're in this position, right? Where you're like on your post, like an elbow post. Don't pull him in towards you. Like, you're not going to get much out of it, and he's just going to close the distance. Create a frame and keep him away, and try to redirect his force, right? If he's whichever way he's trying to pressure, try to redirect it, and then look for openings that way. It could lead to shoulder crunches. It could lead to 2-on-1s on the arm that you're facing. But I think it'll just lead to more than collar tying him will.
I agree. And also keep in mind, when you're back in like the traditional half guard, like you are right now, like, we don't use a tradition. So number one, traditional half guards, you're going to have your knee shield in front of you. I think you regard to a knee shield here shortly. Regardless, we stand up, or like we want to post on our elbows to be in an attacking position. Our hand needs to go down towards our knee, so that way we can shoot our shield through and then come up for that underhook. You do have opportunities to come in with an underhook here. I will say that going against Luke, it's very difficult to make that underhook effective. But nonetheless, you should be able to grab a leg. You should be able to shoot in an underhook. There should be something that you can do from an attacking standpoint here. But getting flattened out, like what Matt's saying, or pulling him into you and like pulling him over top of that knee shield is not going to be effective.
Yeah, to answer your question, it is to prevent the forward drive, but more so the stuff that comes after that. The chest to chest position, being flat on your back, his head and arm, him having a connected grip with your head and arm, all the things downstream that come from that forward pressure. That's the real stuff you're trying to prevent. Luke does a good job also of making it difficult to stand up totally straight for the standing guard break. He does it to me too. I've literally, now that he's lost a bunch of weight, like I've picked Luke up off the ground and held him there while I work the standing guard break. Not saying you should do that, but
yeah, your knees won't like it for very long.
yeah, or your lower back. Looks like you won that scramble.
That was a good can opener too. He did not like that. Did you see the can opener guard break?
From
go back a little bit further. Right about here. Yeah. Play from here.
Oh yeah. I think right here.
Pulse. Look at the legs open right up. This is your opportunity, Andrew. Like during that, I don't advise to do the can opener, right? Like it's not necessarily the nicest guard break. But once those legs split open, get the hell out, right? Stand up, get around the guard, right? Or disengage. It's definitely an effective way to open up the closed guard.
It's also an effective way to get double armbarred, so just be careful.
Totally, yeah. Battling with Chris's guard up here on the top left.
Yeah, I've been watching that. He's really good at keeping his legs stuck to you.
Oh yeah. And even when you Toriando around, it's like you're not done.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to chain passes together.
This is about when stuff starts to come together for me against Chris. Who do we have on the right? Is that Jason and Cole?
Yeah.
Okay. And then Joe and...
I'm not sure who. Maybe Jordan? No, maybe
no,
Danny?
Jordan's down there.
Yeah. I think Danny?
Yeah, that's probably right. Yeah. There we go. That was me finally getting the high stepping to work against Chris. It took this entire time for me to, what was it, 5 minutes?
So there you're in reverse De La Riva.
Yep.
And then stepping around, yeah.
Stepping around. And it's just, at that point, it was almost like, again, I know we talked about it after class, but it's literally the camping, like constantly putting him from one hip to another. Eventually, he was just getting tired, right? His ability to pump back and keep that knee-elbow connection was very tough.
Did it again right there. He managed to get a leg over.
But I did it there. Oh, and then, I think at the very end. Yep.
Here we see a good hip toss from Blake.
Beautiful.
Notice the difference there, Blake?
Today. Yeah.
Good. Like you're actually breaking my feet off the ground. Then you can throw me. That's what I was trying to illustrate to you. Once the feet are off the ground, that's like where you can whip me around. Here you're putting me down pretty nicely. But you could whip me down a lot faster and more effectively that way.
But now this is just us drilling.
Yep.
Okay.
We got Joe and Jason. It's a lot fun. It's a lot more fun. It is like there's no better feeling than, I mean, submissions are great. I love submitting people, but hitting a clean throw on somebody just feels really good.
Good Joe. Nice. Trying to make a connection and go into the Sumigashi or something.
Yeah. It
just slips right off.
I'm not mad at that leg entanglement though.
Yeah.
If you turn the corner, see you're getting control of that second leg.
See what if Jason's able to defend.
Take it easy, Andrew. Thank you, bro.
Later, man.
We'll see you tomorrow. Try.
Jason's getting better and better. He needs to heist up and start getting his knees turned down to the mat.
Yeah. Joe, you gotta attack that secondary leg to pull that triangle open.
I was thinking that too. Like, so like my rule of thumb with any attacks, right, is like if I'm counting, like if I can count to, I don't know, 2 or 3, and I'm not really seeing much movement, and I'm in the attacking position, then I'm doing something wrong. Like normally it's something that I need to either my partner thinks that they're safe. Is normally kind of the problem, right? Because that lets them settle into the position, that lets Jason get his legs tight, a little bit tighter than they were, or something. So what Matt is saying, I think, is the right move next, which is just go and attack that other leg. Also keep in mind that you're starting to fall down to your right hip here. You can always go back to center, right, and kind of sit back up and sit on Jason's hips and start to extract that leg in a different way. You can also, from this reverse Ashi position, attack the other leg, not just using it as like a defensive, or like secondary leg strategy. You can just go, straight in and start attacking it with an outside heel hook or something like that. But yeah, normally, like, I'm counting 1, 2, 3. If I'm getting to 3 and my partner's not moving, I'm trying to disrupt them. I'm trying to get them off balance. I'm trying to get them to move.
You also should try to fall, if you're in reverse Ashi, try to fall over the secondary leg, not fall over the leg that you're trying to knee bar.
Wrap it. I would agree.
That way you're exhibiting some control over that secondary leg with your body weight. It may not be a direct connection, but you're putting weight on the leg and inhibiting its motion. So it would make it more difficult for him to escape. Bring that up to me at class if you're there tomorrow. We can talk a bit more about that.
So Luke just went through with Cooper a really nice like leg transition, and the legs can be very confusing for people, but before this he was actually in cross Ashi, I believe. You go back just a little bit. Yeah, so he goes back, he gets into cross Ashi. Coop comes up and is doing a great job, but look how Luke is staying on the leg. Then he ends up in 50-50, right? So as the leg comes across and gets pushed onto the same side of the same side of the body, he goes into 50-50. And then from here, he can put Coop down, but he actually elects to go into like that, into almost, it's a back take, right? You normally get to this from a Del Hiva type position, but he's just flowing through the legs, and you can you can kind of see how many types of leg positions you can get to just by staying on the individual leg.
Yeah, it's all about angles, where your legs are relative to their legs, all that stuff.
Good use of north-south here by Joe. Let's see if he can hold on to it or do something attacking-wise. I don't like how leaned over you are, but it seems to be working okay. Very nice. Good timing, Joe, on that mount. I know Steven really likes to do that as well. It's very, very effective.
Luke's throwing up a nasty triangle on Coop here. About as deep of a triangle as you're ever gonna see.
Yeah.
I say that because Cooper's shoulder is nowhere near the lock of the legs, like it's well past it. This is pure head and arm, no shoulder at all. That's the kind of triangle you guys want to shoot for.
Yeah, that was tight. Let's see, Joe, if you can get Jason's arms away from his body. I have a difficult time with it myself.
The trick is to knock his contact out,
Yeah.
which I believe is what happens here.
Yeah.
Success. Next level jiu-jitsu.
Gotta keep them hips warm.
Yeah, especially this old guy.
Yeah.
Coop trying to spin the leg right there at the end.
That was nice.
I think
Yeah.
Luke had a proud coach moment there. Oh yeah, good stuff.
Yep. that's
Would have liked to
exactly
have seen where that
we
went.
did in class.
Looks like you guys come back to finish the scramble in our last round of the night. A little quick on the turn, just not enough control over the arm for the arm bar. That's all. Jason didn't want to stand up in the sweat puddle, I bet.
Yep.
I do not blame him. Remember, yeah, there we go, man.
Okay.
All right.
Just didn't pinch the knees together.
Yeah, and like, there's a second here where you can tell Jason's like, wait, I don't want to stand up. He's got my ankles. But then he
Right.
goes, oh, wait, what does it matter? I don't care. And he just lets go and stands up. Joe drops his hips, unlocks the legs. Joe beat him on the knee pinch. And
Yep.
that was very good from you, Joe. You were the one who initiated, so you get to kind of like set the pace on that. But I have to say, Jason had the right idea there. Just stand up.
I agree.
Even if the guy has your ankles, just stand up.
Yep. And you said it before, but what Joe did is something that we don't. I mean, what we push to see for sweeps in general is the follow through, right? Like the sweep is not done until you assume top position.
Yep.
So don't get lazy on your sweeps or reversals or whatever. Take top position. Let their momentum carry you on top.
The move isn't over until you win position.
Yep.
And hold it for 3 seconds if you're training for a comp.
Yeah, facts.
We go bug in the head. Good kipping escape by Jason.
That was good, Kip. Yeah, yeah.
So this is where I think so we're on the last round, or at least the last round for the stream, but we're seeing Jason here looking to pass from his knees. I think I've said it before, like it's not like it's impossible. Plenty of people work from there, especially if they're thinking about going into legs, and maybe that's what Jason's considering right now. But I would just advise to try standing and passing from a split squat position, or working some like the loose passing stuff that Mike's doing. And then, yeah, if your opponent wants to get back up and have a good standing battle and get flip the birds at them, that's always an option too. But passing from your knees is, you're just not as mobile. It's difficult. You're gonna have to work things like body lock passes, things a little bit tighter. So if that's in your repertoire, great. I just didn't see Jason really setting up for them here. He's not digging on underhooks, anything like that. So
yeah, he might be. From all the sweat, he might be a little bit. Oh, he starts to stand now.
yeah. There we go. Stand up with it.
up against the wall. Going for the 2-on-1.
I appreciate that these two are slapping each other and flipping the bird and talking shit and trying to destroy each other, and Blake's just watching me like, I want the next round.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the single leg is what you wanted. I'm sure.
Dude, the single leg you had earlier at the start of the footage was perfect. Like that's I want to see more of that. That was really nice. Because it had what I like to see, which was like loading up the back leg by driving through. You're not just reaching down and trying to pick a leg up. You're loading it up, pushing through them. A nice easy finish, like a low effort finish, and then landing past the guard. Like it was awesome.
That was a really slick pass from Jason, though.
Quit jabbering here for a second and see what Jason did. Pinning the knees. Quick high step behind him. Setting up for the pass to mount. Just running out of time. Killer.
That was a nice, good day of training for sure.
Yeah, really, really good. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I appreciate you joining us on your Sunday evening when you could be doing something stupid like watching football, but instead you're watching us. I hope the stream wasn't bad. I dropped about 6% of it. So, did you find a counter for that collar tie break? Did I find a counter for the collar tie break? I don't know what you're talking about, Coop. My kick.
Mule kick.
Yeah. Past my guard. Oh. Coop, remind me in person. I'm drawing a blank on what you're asking. Anyway, let's see. We are moving on to side control tomorrow. So, hope any of the newbies who haven't seen that yet are excited for that. Bring your questions. Remember, anything you guys see here, bring it up to us. We'll happily go over it with you. Like this collar tie break that Coop's talking about. Keep working your half guard stuff. It will transition very well into side control, and those two things dovetail nicely together. So, in any case, thank you guys for tuning in. I think I said last time we got to get up on the tournament schedule again, or the competition schedule, and let you guys know when those are coming up. So if you guys are interested in competing, maybe you got some New Year's goals you want to hit, come talk to us. We'll make sure we get you guys squared away. Thank you, Joe. In any case, follow us here. Subscribe if you can. Subscribe with your Twitch Prime. Subscribe over at YouTube as well, where we'll post this for you guys to review. Anything else, Mike?
I think so.
I think we're good.
Show up and train.
Witt's custard is better than Brewster's. Custard is better than ice cream. And yeah,
Disagree.
Go trim your nails and do your laundry. And we'll see you guys. And don't be stinky. We'll see you guys back on the mats. Take it easy.
Later.